family. It's supposed to be the one place you're safe. When my cousin hit rock bottom, I opened my door and my wallet. I gave him a fresh start. Food, shelter, trust. But one night, while he thought I was asleep, I overheard a phone call that froze my blood. He wasn't rebuilding his life. He was building a plan to take mine apart. And that's when I decided to turn the tables. My name's Daniel. I live in a quiet suburb just outside of Chicago. Life has always been pretty structured for me. Steady job at an auto parts company, my own little townhouse, the same coffee shop every morning. Nothing dramatic. Growing up, my cousin Leo was like the brother I never had. He was funny, charming, the kind of guy who could talk himself out of trouble. But as we got older, our paths split. I stuck with school and work. Leo drifted. Odd jobs, bad friends, and eventually a record for petty theft. For years, my parents warned me, "Be careful with Leo. He's got a good heart, but bad habits." Still, every Thanksgiving and every family wedding, Leo would show up with a big smile and a story about how he was finally turning things around. Last spring, out of the blue, I got a message from him. He'd lost his apartment, his girlfriend had kicked him out, and he'd been fired from his job at a warehouse. He said he was sleeping in his car and just needed a couch for a month or two while he looked for steady work. I hesitated. A quiet life is a hard-won thing, and inviting chaos in can blow it apart. But then I remembered how, when we were kids, Leo would sneak me candy and stand up for me at school. Family is family, right? So I said yes. The first few days felt like a good decision. Leo was all apologies and gratitude. He helped me carry groceries, washed my car, even cooked dinner once or twice. He said he was applying for jobs and wanted to enroll in a trade school. At night, we'd sit on the porch. He'd talk about starting fresh, about how he wanted to pay me back. I started thinking maybe this would be one of those redemption stories you read about online. But there were small things I ignored at first. The way he'd stay up late on his phone, whispering, the way envelopes of mail started arriving for him from banks I'd never heard of, the way he asked odd questions about my bank account and my job. Looking back, the warning signs were there. But at the time, I was just happy to think I was helping someone I loved get back on their feet. At first, the changes were subtle. Leo went from helping with chores to sleeping until noon, then disappearing for hours. When I'd ask where he'd been, he'd shrug it off with a vague, "Just running errands, bro." One evening, I came home from work early and caught him sitting at my desk. My laptop was open, and a spreadsheet of my personal finances was on the screen. He jumped up like a kid with his hand in the cookie jar. "Oh, sorry, man, I was just checking email." I laughed it off, but a seed of doubt had been planted. Over the next week, little inconsistencies piled up. A neighbor texted me that someone had been peeking into my garage when I wasn't home. My debit card was declined at the grocery store, even though I knew the balance was fine. Leo's phone kept buzzing with messages from names I didn't recognize. Nate? Carla? Big M. One night after he left in his beat-up car, I went into the guest room. There were papers strewn across the bed. Printouts of my bank statements, my work ID, even a copy of my driver's license I'd left in a drawer. And in a notebook, I saw my name at the top of a page with numbers scribbled underneath. It looked like he was mapping out my accounts. That was the moment my stomach dropped. The realization hit. This wasn't about starting fresh. Leo was setting something up. I started being careful. I locked my laptop with a new password. I called my bank and set up alerts. I even installed a small camera in the living room. Outwardly, I played the same generous cousin. Inwardly, I was on high alert. The camera footage confirmed my fears. Twice after I'd gone to bed, Leo crept into my office, rifled through my drawers, and took pictures of my mail. In the kitchen, he was on the phone whispering, "Yeah, I got the numbers. Just a couple more days." My heart pounded, but I forced myself to stay calm. I wanted proof, not just suspicion. I wanted to know exactly what his plan was before confronting him. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that confronting a manipulator without evidence only flips the script on you. So I began setting a trap, quietly, carefully, the same way Leo had been setting his. Once I'd seen enough on the hidden camera, my fear turned into focus. If Leo thought he was playing chess with me, I was about to show him I knew the board better. I opened a brand new checking account at a different bank and moved my savings into it. In my old account, I left a small balance, just enough to look tempting, and created a fake spreadsheet marked investment fund with large sums and fake passwords. Then I slid that printout into the top drawer of my desk where I knew Leo would find it. For 3 days, I acted as though nothing had changed. I still asked Leo how his job hunt was going, still made him coffee in the morning, still lent him my car. Inside, though, I was watching. The camera caught him late one night photographing the fake spreadsheet and texting someone. Tomorrow night, big score. That was my cue. The next evening, I pretended to be leaving town on a last-minute work trip. I even packed a bag and walked out the door, but instead of heading to the airport, I circled back quietly and parked down the block. Around midnight, Leo came out of the house carrying my small safe, the one he believed held cash and passwords. I called the police, who were already on alert with the evidence I'd given them. They stopped him 2 blocks away. Inside the safe, only blank papers and a note from me. "You wanted a fresh start, Leo. Here's yours. In court." Watching him sit on the curb in handcuffs was a cocktail of sadness and relief. This was my cousin. We'd built forts together as kids, but he'd been planning to wipe me out financially. The next morning, when the detective handed me back my safe, he said, "Good thing you were smart. He had your social security number and passwords ready to sell." Back at the house, it felt strange. Empty but clean, like a storm had passed. I changed the locks, canceled the guest room lease, and sat at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee. My generosity had been used as a weapon against me, but I'd taken my power back without shouting, without a fight, just evidence and planning. Still, part of me wondered, how many other families go through this? How many people are betrayed not by strangers but by the ones they're trying to help? And if Leo hadn't slipped up, how far would he have gone? Leo's betrayal didn't just cost him his freedom. It cost me my innocence about family. I'd opened my home to help someone start over, and he almost destroyed my life in return. But in the end, careful planning and calm action saved me. No shouting, no violence, just truth and evidence. I still sit here sometimes, coffee in hand, wondering, was I too trusting? Could I have seen the signs earlier? And the biggest question, if your own blood plots against you, what would you do? Have you ever helped someone only to find they had hidden intentions? How did you handle it? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, because this isn't just my story. It's a warning for anyone who thinks kindness can't be exploited.